Good morning. Before your day gets loud, let's spend a few quiet minutes training your ears. I'm Jacob, and this is Morning English, the show where we practice real spoken English together every single morning before the noise of the day begins. Here's a question for you. Can you read English just fine, but the moment someone actually speaks to you, it sounds like fast, blurry noise? Words running together, disappearing, changing shape entirely? If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. That is not a sign you're bad at English. It's a sign that nobody ever taught you how spoken English actually works, which is very different from written English. Here's the real distinction, and once you see it, a lot of this starts to make sense. Reading a word and recognizing it is one skill. Catching that same word flying past you in fast, connected, real-time speech is a completely different skill. You can know a word perfectly on a page and still miss it completely when someone says it quickly in a sentence. That's not a knowledge gap, that's a training gap. And training gaps close with the right kind of practice, not more vocabulary lists. So this morning, I want to give you something specific. I call it the ear training method. 4 simple layers, each one solving a different reason spoken English feels so much harder than written English. Layer 1. Understanding connected speech, how words blend and change when people talk fast. Layer 2, shadowing, training your mouth and ears together. Layer 3, repeated listening, getting more from the same short clip each time you replay it. Layer 4, controlled speed, gradually training your brain to keep up with natural pace. Let's build this together, one layer at a time. Layer 1, connected speech. When English is written, every word stands alone, clean and separate. But when it's spoken, words blend, join, and sometimes disappear entirely. This is completely normal. It happens in every language, but nobody explains it clearly enough. Let's go through a few of the most common patterns, and I want you to say each one with me out loud. Want to becomes wanna in natural speech. Say it with me. I wanna go. I wanna go. Going to becomes gonna. I'm gonna sleep now. I'm gonna sleep now. Have to softens into hafta. I have to go becomes I have to go. I have to go. And got to becomes gotta. I gotta call my mom becomes I gotta call my mom. I gotta call my mom. Say all 4 with me. One more time, a little faster. Wanna, gonna, hafta, gotta. Good. Notice something. None of these are wrong or lazy English. This is simply how fluent speech naturally moves. Here's one more, a slightly trickier one. What are you often reduces all the way down to whatcha. What are you going to do this weekend becomes what you gonna do this weekend. Try saying that whole sentence with me at natural speed. What you gonna do this weekend. If nobody ever told you this and you heard it in a movie, you might genuinely think it was a different word entirely. And that confusion isn't your fault. It's simply a gap nobody filled in for you until now. Before we move to layer 2, 2 more quick things worth knowing because they compound the connected speech problem. First, accents. American English, British English, Australian English, they all shape the same words differently. Take the word water. In American English, the middle T often softens toward a D sound, water. In British English, that T usually stays crisp and clear, water. Neither is wrong, they're just different. And the fix isn't picking one accent and avoiding the rest. It's deliberately exposing your ears to a mix of them so none of them catch you off guard later. Second, certain English sounds simply don't exist in many other languages, and your brain needs direct practice to catch them quickly. The T sound in think and this is a common one, your tongue lightly touching or slipping between your teeth. Try it with me. Think, this, that. Think, this, that. That small movement, once it becomes automatic, removes a surprising amount of listening confusion because your brain stops pausing every time it hears that sound. Layer 2, shadowing. This is one of the most powerful techniques for training your ears and your mouth at the exact same time. Here's how it works. You listen to a short sentence, and instead of just listening, you say it out loud at almost the same moment, copying the rhythm, the speed, the natural music of it, like a shadow following close behind a person. Let's try it right now. I'm going to say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it immediately afterward, matching my rhythm as closely as you can. Ready? I really enjoy learning something new every single morning. Now you say it. I really enjoy learning something new every single morning. Notice the rhythm isn't flat. Certain words get more weight than others. Really, enjoy, new, morning. That natural rise and fall is exactly what shadowing trains your ear to catch. Let's push a little further with a longer, slightly harder sentence, because shadowing works best when it stretches you just a bit. Ready? I don't know if I can make it, but I'm going to try my best to be there on time. Now you say it, matching my speed as closely as possible. I don't know if I can make it, but I'm going to try my best to be there on time. That sentence packed in three things we just learned: a reduced form, a natural pause, and a full connected rhythm, all in one breath, exactly how it would sound in a real conversation. Layer 3, repeated listening. Most learners make the mistake of always chasing new content, one video, then another, never really finishing any of them. But here's what actually builds real comprehension: listening to the exact same short clip multiple times. The first time, you catch the big, obvious words. The second time, you start catching smaller connecting words you missed before. By the third or fourth time, you start hearing the actual rhythm and stress pattern, not just individual words. It's a bit like learning a song. The first listen you catch the melody, and only after several listens do you know every single word. If you use subtitles while you practice, use them thoughtfully rather than automatically. Watch once with no subtitles at all. Just listen and see how much you catch. Then watch again with English subtitles, not your native language, so your eyes and ears are still connecting sound to English text rather than translating away from it entirely. Then, if you can, watch a third time with no subtitles again, and notice how much more you catch simply from that one pass in between. Layer 4. Controlled speed. If natural speech still feels too fast right now, that's completely fine. And here's a genuinely useful trick almost nobody tells you about. Most video and podcast apps let you control playback speed. Start at 75% speed, slower than normal, and get comfortable there first. Once that feels easy, move up to full normal speed. And once that feels easy too, you can even try a slightly faster speed, which trains your brain to process language quickly, so that normal speed later feels almost relaxed by comparison. This is exactly like training a muscle. You don't lift the heaviest weight on day one. You build up to it gradually. One bonus layer, because it ties everything together: word stress and rhythm. In English, every word has one syllable said stronger than the others, and getting this wrong, even with perfect vocabulary, can genuinely confuse a listener. Take the word photograph. The stress sits on the first part, photograph. But add an ending, and it moves. Photography shifts the stress to the second syllable, photography. Say both with me: photograph, photography. This isn't random, and the more you listen actively, the more your ear starts predicting it automatically, without you consciously thinking about the rule at all. A simple practice trick: when you hear a sentence you like, try gently tapping the stressed words as you say them, almost like keeping a quiet beat. I really enjoy learning English. Tap on really. Enjoy learning English. It feels a little unusual at first, but it works. Let me tell you about Sophia. Sophia could read English fluently, no problem at all. Technical documents, articles, anything. But the moment a colleague spoke to her quickly in a meeting, her mind would just go blank, and she'd nod along, hoping to catch enough to respond appropriately. Terrified someone would ask her a direct question and expose that she'd actually understood almost nothing. She told me she felt like a fraud, someone who looked fluent on paper but froze the second real speech happened. And that gap between her reading level and her listening level was quietly eroding her confidence at work. Sophia started with just one layer of this method: connected speech patterns, 10 minutes a day, nothing else at first, no big overhaul of her whole routine. She'd pick a short clip, notice every gonna, every wanna, every reduced sound, and say them out loud herself before her morning shower. 3 weeks in, she noticed something small but real. She stopped translating those reduced forms in her head. She just understood them instantly, the way a native listener does, without any conscious effort. It wasn't dramatic. She didn't suddenly understand everything in every meeting. But that specific wall, the one that used to stop her cold every single time, was simply gone, and that alone changed how she felt walking into a room. Let me clear away a few things that might be holding you back right now. Perhaps you're thinking this sounds like a lot to remember all at once. It isn't. You don't need all 4 layers today. Pick one. Connected speech is usually the best place to start and build from there. Perhaps you're worried that focusing on informal speech, gonna, wanna, means you're learning something wrong or too casual. You're not. This is exactly how real people actually speak in meetings, in cafes, in movies. Textbook English and spoken English are simply two different registers, and you need both. Perhaps you feel embarrassed, shadowing out loud, worried you sound strange, repeating sentences to your phone or your laptop. Nobody is listening but you right now. This is the safest room you'll ever practice in, and that discomfort fades faster than you'd expect. Perhaps you're worried that slowing down audio to 75% speed feels like cheating, like you're not really learning at full difficulty. It isn't cheating. It's exactly how strength training works. You don't start with the heaviest weight. You build capacity gradually, and it transfers upward naturally. And perhaps you're worried you'll forget to keep this up after today. So don't rely on motivation alone. Attach this to something you already do every morning, right after you make your coffee, right before you check your phone, 10 minutes, same time, every day, until it stops needing willpower at all. Here's what you can honestly expect, and I want to be realistic with you rather than promise something unrealistic. After about 1 week of daily practice, you'll likely notice a few specific connected speech patterns start clicking automatically, without you consciously translating them anymore. After about 1 month, real conversations and podcasts will start feeling less like a wall of noise and more like individual, recognizable words again, even at natural speed. After about 3 months of consistent practice, your ear genuinely adjusts. Unfamiliar accents stop feeling as jarring, fast speech stops feeling like an emergency, and word stress starts landing correctly without you thinking about it at all. That timeline depends entirely on consistency, not on talent, and results will vary depending on where you're starting from, so be patient with your own pace. I want you to say something with me now and actually mean it. Not, I can't understand spoken English. Say instead, I am training my ears, one sentence at a time. I am training my ears, one sentence at a time. That statement is already true today, the moment you finish this video, and it becomes truer every single morning you choose to keep going. You are not someone who simply can't understand fast English. You are someone actively training that skill right now, this morning. And that is a completely different identity to carry forward. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick just one layer. Connected speech is a great place to begin, and spend 10 focused minutes on it every morning for the next 7 days. Not 2 hours once, on some random Sunday, and then nothing. 10 honest minutes, daily, attached to something you already do, so it doesn't rely on willpower alone. Right, day 1 done. In the comments, when you finish today's practice, I read every single one, and I genuinely want to see you begin. If you're already further along, write that too. We celebrate every stage here. If this helped you this morning, I'd love for you to keep coming back. Morning English is here every single day, and we'll build the next layer together tomorrow. Keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, understanding isn't about catching every single word perfectly. It's about communication. And communication is something you're already building, one small session at a time. I'll see you in the morning.